If you had 10 seconds to grab people's attention and keep it, could you do it? Hi, I'm Amanda with Socially Flourish, and today we're going to be talking about how to keep people onto your website because believe it or not, it's only about 10 seconds that they will stay before they leave. Yep, it's a short attention span nowadays. So what can we do to make things better? Well, okay. First of all, let me just say I am happy to come to your site and give you a free website review. I do this for companies so that they can figure out what they need to improve upon and also let them know that I'm available to them should they want to hire me. But today I'm going to do this kind of like an overview so that if you want to try this yourself, you can figure out whether or not you need to fix something on your site. Okay? So the first thing that I do is I look at how your site grabs my attention. Does it grab it in the right way? For example, if it's kind of confusing or it's overwhelming, like walking into a tchotchke palace, I'm going to be overwhelmed and I'm not going to be able to make it through your site. So be sure that when you get there, the design is simple and it helps me to just navigate through. Now, let's talk about that. Let's first talk about the use of words. Sometimes I go to sites and there's words. My eyes cannot handle it. And most people don't have time to read all of that verbiage. Keep your language concise and with bullet points. People can handle bullet points. For whatever reason, we just don't read like we used to, and we don't have time. So keep things concise, make it easy to understand, and make sure that if you have something important to say, that it's right out there in front for people, that they can understand what you're trying to convey. Now, if you have words over images, make sure they're not competing with each other. For example, if you want to show off a beautiful picture of a bouquet, don't make it so that you can hardly read the words through the flowers. It makes it very difficult. If you want to showcase the picture, but don't make it so that I have to kind of cross my eyes in order to read the words. Your people who come to your site won't like it, and it'll be just too difficult, and it won't reflect that well on your business either. That's the other thing. Make sure your pictures are not pixelated. If your pictures are pixelated, people will think you're not professional. So make sure your images are high quality, but that they load fast. Yes, that's the next thing. How fast does your site load? If it takes a long time for your site to load, you're going to have to optimize your pictures. 72 DPI is usually good. Just make sure that you use a large enough picture so that it's not going to pixelate. Now, how easy is your site to navigate? Am I looking at these menu buttons and going, wait, where are they? Or am I looking at them going, wait, what do I do? Or if I'm looking at them and they have strange language like wise words or think about it or things like that. I don't know what you're asking of me. It makes no sense. So your call to action buttons or your menu buttons need to make sense. If you want your audience to do something, make it clear to them, not difficult. The next thing I look for is, are there any tags or pixels in place? These are generally called cookies, and cookies are important. They're not always about stealing your information or anything like that. Sometimes it's just a way for businesses to figure out how to serve you better. If they can't figure out how long you're staying on the site and how long you're looking at certain things, they won't know if those things are helping you or they're not. So it really is one of those things that if you are upset about having cookies, I understand your privacy is important, but you have to also understand that businesses need to learn how to serve you better. The next thing I look at is if this is a service-based industry or a product, I want to know they're going to be able to ship it to me where I am, or if it's a service that I can reach them. So if you don't have your location on there or we can't figure it out by your images, it's just not going to work out. For example, there was a church that I knew that they didn't put anywhere on the site where they were located. And so you just found this church home site where you were like, oh, that's a nice church. I'd like to visit it, but there's nowhere to go. They didn't have a map. They didn't have any of the things that would help you figure out where they're located so that you could go visit. What about credentials? Do you have any? If you have credentials, like let's say from the Better Business Bureau, you're going to want to put those front and center on your site. You're also going to want to put in how many years you've been in business. If you've been in business for over, let's say 10 years, you're going to want to let your customers know that, hey, I know what I'm doing. I've been in this game for a while. Next, let's talk about testimonials. Testimonials are one of the most important things you can have on a site. Make sure testimonials are front and center on your site. I also look to see if people have broken links on their site. Yes, I go through sites and click on pretty much everything, trying to find any broken links. I look to see if you have a favicon. The favicon is that small little icon that's up by your web address. And if it's not present, then that can be a sign that you haven't fully flushed out your site. As people open many tabs nowadays, they're going to want to find your site easily. So if your logo is right there front and center on your favicon, it makes it easier to distinguish your site from all the other tabs they have open. Is your site mobile friendly? Mobile friendly sites are so important nowadays because everybody's on a mobile device. Like they open your site on a phone and the text is this big, or the images are bigger than the width of the phone. So in order to see them, they have to go like this, and it needs to be scaled down so that it works on a phone or any other mobile device. I also look for design that mimics buttons, but isn't a button. Sometimes we put things on our sites that look like it could be a button, but when we press it, nothing happens. And especially if the language surrounding it makes it kind of look like, oh, this is leading me somewhere. If it doesn't lead anywhere, don't make it seem like it does. I also look to see if you're speaking to your customers' pain points. For example, if you have customers that you know are struggling with something in their business or in their lives, for example, let's say that you have a pressure washing business and people are dealing with mold and green stuff growing on the sides of their homes. It's unsightly, and maybe they need to have people over or entertain, or they're trying to sell their house. Well, it would be good if when you first start talking to them, you're speaking to their pain points. If you have any social media links, you should definitely put them on your site so that people can see them. I also look at your email and see if it is connected to your site. For example, if you are pressurewashingjohn.com, if your website is that and your email reflects that where it says pressurewashingjohn.com and you're sending emails to people with that ending of your website, you're going to want to make sure that those emails are not ending up in their spam file. And finally, I'm going to look at your SEO because it is so important to know how you're ranking on Google and things like that. SEO stands for search engine optimization, which is hard to say. And it helps sites get out there to the right people and rank on Google and places like that the best that they can. So I'm going to look for backlinks, descriptions, and keywords to make sure that you've got them all lined up the right way. I'm also going to make sure that you don't have any practices going on that's going to actually hurt your Google ranking, even though someone might have told you that it was okay. And that's what I look for in a website review. Now, if you're interested in one, I encourage you to follow the link in the description and fill out the form. I'll go and look at your website. I'll make a video just like this one where I walk you through your site and show you things that you might want to change or fix to make it a better site and talk to your customers the best that you can. I'm Amanda with Socially Flourish. I hope today's video has helped you figure out how you can help your business thrive by changing some things on your site and making it more user-friendly.